the California State Assembly. Karen Bass is here joining us on Kababayan LA. Like I said earlier, it's not often that we get bigwigs from Sacramento coming here and talking to Kababayan's speaker. First of all, why? Why are you making time for us?
Well, I think it's just very important. I mean, one thing that I love about Los Angeles is that it's like a slice of the world. And so there's so many communities that are represented here. And so an opportunity to speak to the community from the Philippines is something that I consider very honored.
And, you know, I wish we had more time with you because Filipinos can certainly relate to you because you, in your hearts, in your priorities, in your mind, you have a lot of issues that we really deeply care about. And that is, you know, foster care reform, also healthy insurance, healthy family insurance coverage,
right.
Even caregivers recognition. Can you tell us your involvement in that?
Sure. Well, I just think those issues are so important. And, you know, many years ago, I trained as a nurse. And while I was in nursing school, I did in-home care, in-home supportive services, taking care of a woman who was a paraplegic. And so I know what it means and how important it is for someone to be cared for at home and to keep people out of nursing homes. Aside from the fact that it's so expensive, it's just so much more humane to be cared for in surroundings that you're familiar with.
When you were studying as a nurse, and I know you worked for the trauma unit of a hospital as well, did you encounter a lot of Filipinos in your
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of nurses from the Philippines, very much so. I was a nurse for a number of years, and I went back to school and became a PA, a physician assistant. But throughout my years in the hospitals, I always worked with nurses and doctors from the Philippines.
What do you know about us?
Well, you know, I mean, I think that people who, especially folks of color, have so much in common because we all have to fight discrimination, whether you're fighting discrimination because of your origin, where you're from, or your language, or the fact that you're not white. I mean, you know, we have a lot in common with each other. And so I always found that in common with the nurses from the Philippines. They had to fight a lot of discrimination.
Right. And one thing that we have, I think, in common with you is the nurturing, the caring nature. They say Filipinos are really known as nurturing people, as a nurturing community, and that's who you are as well. Let's talk about being a mom. And I know that this is something that you pride yourself about. Let's talk about your experience as a mom.
Sure. Well, I mean, I think it's, you know, the most important job one can have. And to me, it's about caring for folks. And I, again, was very unfortunate that I had a wonderful mother who was very caring. And she tended to not just take care of her own children, but she took care of everyone's children. And I think that that's probably a trait that I inherited from her.
Now, about 2 weeks ago, we celebrated Mother's Day. It was a week-long celebration here on Kababayan LA. We wanted to get you then for that week because you lost your only child, your daughter.
Yes.
How was that like?
Well, it's basically undescribable. I don't believe there's any pain deeper than that. I don't think there's anything worse that could have possibly happened to me. I not only lost my daughter, but I lost my son-in-law as well. And it's one thing to lose a parent, because that is the natural order of things, and I was very close to my parents, and I was fortunate that I took care of both of them until they passed away. With my daughter, she was there one day and gone the next, and so it has been a pain that I have lived with every single day. It's been 3.5 years, and it feels as though it was yesterday.
They say, though, that what doesn't break you only makes you stronger. And I know that strength of character, I'm sure you had that even before this experience, but you have more of it now. How is that helping you in the arena of politics?
I don't think it's helping me at all. And I'm not sure that I feel that it, frankly, has made me stronger. I think over these years, I've learned how to manage, but it hasn't gotten any better, and it's something that you live with every hour of every day. And so I think the difference is that you learn how to go on, and so that's what I've tried to do.
We have mothers that are watching. They are away from their kids in the Philippines. They have to come here and work here, leaving their children behind the Philippines. They hardly get to talk to them. What do you say to them?
Well,
encourage them to move on?
I just think that that's extremely difficult as well. And I think what's most important is to do everything you possibly can to stay in contact and stay into communication. One thing my mother told me, and I listened to her very intently, she said, you know, you only have 18 years when your child is growing up, and so make the best of every moment, because after they grow up, they're on their own. And so I would just say make the best of every moment, communicate every single minute you can. And now we're fortunate that there's so many means to communicate. And after your kids become teenagers, you better learn how to text.
Right.
Because that's the way to communicate.
That's the best way.
With them.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Now, in closing, let me ask you about your plans now. You know, motherhood, we've tackled about that, politics. We've tackled a little bit about some of your issues, the issues that you care for. Moving forward, what are you most looking forward to?
Well, I'm in the middle of a run for Congress. We're 3 weeks away from the election, and I look very forward to, one, being successful, I certainly hope, but two, going back to Washington and being a part of this particular moment in history with Barack Obama in the White House and Democrats in control of both houses of Congress. I'm really looking forward to going back and participating in the change that I see taking place in our nation.
And we certainly wish you luck on that. We have more information for you. That's the website to log on, and that's the website to check out. Let's please help and support Miss Karen Bass. She is an amazing person, and we know that she is going to do wonders in Congress. Thank you so much, and more power to you.
Thank you for having me on.
Magbabalik ko pa ang Kababayan LA. Don't go away.